there's no better way to start out a program than with some great jazz. And with us today to talk about some of the great and really fantastic jazz offerings that are happening in Polk County over the next few months are Ashobi Craig from the Polk State Lake Wales Art Center and Charlie Top Hines. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out today.
Andy, thank you for having us.
So tell me, what are some of these great events that are happening?
Well, we're really leading up. We're coming up on the second annual Jewel of the Ridge Jazz Festival that's presented by Polk State College and the Lake Wales Arts Council. It'll be the second weekend in April. We're really excited to have it happen. Charlie is literally our poster guy. He's the image that you'll see on the flyers and on the publicity material, but really excited to bring other world-class artists here to Polk County to perform in Lake Wales. And the great thing about these events are they're going to be free. We want the community to come out. We have Omar Sosa coming, who is a world-renowned Grammy-nominated piano player who's coming all the way from Barcelona, Spain to perform. We have Larry Coryell, fantastic jazz guitarist who's coming to perform. And we also have Charlie Top Hines. And who'll be performing as well. Lots of local talent. The Polk State Jazz Ensemble is going to be performing, as well as Harrison School of the Arts. Their jazz students are also coming to perform. So we're really excited to have such a broad offering over the course of 3 days, all in the great city of Lake Wales.
No, this is the second annual Jewel of the Ridge Jazz Festival.
Yes.
How did everything go with it last year?
Last year was fantastic. We had really great participation. We started on a Thursday evening, led up to Saturday, and by the time we got to Saturday evening, we had a Cuban group that was there performing, had people literally dancing in the aisles. Had standing room only. A lot of people said this was fantastic, but you're not going to be able to have it again in the building next year because too many people are going to come. And so we are looking to move to a Saturday format to have it on the shores of Big Lake Wales, which we're really excited about.
Great, and that's April 8th through the 11th, correct?
That's correct. That's
Excellent.
correct.
So it's definitely going to be beautiful weather outside, and
most definitely, most definitely. We're excited, and really, April is a great month. April is Jazz History Month. About a year and a half ago now, Charlie came to me. We had a conversation after a meeting, and Charlie said, you know, I've always wanted to have a jazz festival here in Lake Wales. And we started talking about it, and we talked about time frame, and then I said, okay, this sounds good, but April is really around the corner. This was happening late in the fall. And I said, but you know, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can pull together. And kind of everything coalesced together. We had a great turnout. People were really excited. And I believe it's starting to bubble up and really people get accustomed to coming to the Jazz Festival, participating in it, coming out and seeing world-class musicians that we bring in. And not just for that part of it, but for our students. The college students at Polk State College have workshops with the artists when they come in. So it's a great opportunity to connect them to opportunities that they would not normally have if we weren't having the festival, which we're really excited about.
Oh, it's always great to see that great coming together of both the arts and education, and finding new ways to not only promote what's going on, but to also enhance the students as well as the community.
Exactly, and that's, you know, that's really what we're all about, is providing great opportunities to connect our students to experience.
Now, how did that partnership start?
The partnership with the Arts Council actually goes back to 2011 when the Arts Council gifted the building, the Lake Wales Art Center, to the college. And it has kind of been the genesis point for really incredible things that have happened. The ability for us to have a gallery, to do gallery exhibits. We have performances that happen every first and second Wednesday downtown in Lake Wales at the J.D. Alexander Center, but it is a kind of rejuvenation of the incredible art and performance history that exists in Lake Wales. And Charlie's really a part of that history. And so we're happy to showcase him. Vanessa Della Savoy, who is a fantastic piano player, lives just outside of Lake Wales, also coming in to perform, and the two of them to be one of our showcases of the great talent we have here locally in Polk County is fantastic. And that's really what it's about. It's about partnering what we have here and then bringing in some things from the outside to have a really wonderful event.
That's great. Now, just out of curiosity, how is it that all these great performers have all kind of just all come together in this Lake Wales area to live? That's interesting.
Well, when I first came here, someone told me, say, well, if you want to know something about jazz, you need to speak with Victoria de Lissavoir. And from that, all the other musicians, she know every musician in this area.
Most definitely.
So if you wanna hook up with jazz musicians, you talk with Victoria Elizabeth. And that's how it basically started. Now, how they all got here, I don't even know how I got here. But I came here through my wife's job, transferred her to Winter Haven.
Okay.
And that was right after hurricanes, and we couldn't get a home over in Winter Haven that we could afford. So we ended up in Lake Wales, which I'm glad I did.
That's fantastic.
So that's kind of like jazz. Now's the time. So here we are.
And the really wonderful thing with Victoria, she is connected to really the jazz history of the community. She's been here 20 plus years, performed with Child of the Sun here in Lakeland, and really been one of the connectors of having people that are all around the area, bringing them together to perform and to really showcase the amazing American tradition that we have, that is jazz music. And so we're excited about that. And so we have all of these events that are kind of leading up to it. We have concerts that we have all the time in the Arts Center. And that's more than just jazz music. We have performances that are coming up in January, classical guitar concerts. We have an R&B group that's performing downtown in Lake Wales. We have traditional African drum and dance companies coming in February, modern dance companies coming in February, and everything kind of builds to this crescendo that then we get to the Jazz Festival in April, and it's really, you know, it's going to be at a fever pitch, and we're really, really excited about it.
Oh, that's always great because this community really has a hunger for the arts. And it's really great to see that you guys are stepping up and really filling that void.
Most definitely. And really for this year, I'm excited to have the Polk State College Jazz Ensemble perform under the direction of Don West, who was a longtime Polk County educator, who just recently joined the college faculty and has really done wonders to energize the young jazz musicians that we have. To how do we create the next Charlie Top Hines? How do we create the next famous players that are going to take the music to the next level? And then how is it? And then to be able to connect the dots with them as far as bringing in master artists to do classes with them. We're really, really excited about.
That's really great. Now, how did you reach out to all of the different people that you have coming into town for this?
It's one of the funny things. I tell people I have one of the best jobs in Polk County because I travel around literally looking for talent. And I am prepping, Charlie and I were talking outside, I'm prepping to take one of my trips where I go to New York, and I literally go out to a conference and people present and they showcase the stuff that they're doing. And I kind of bring back a whittled down list of things that I like, and I put it in front of some other folks, and we whittle down that list. Then we come to selecting a couple artists, and that's who we try to pick. And just off of the success of last year, where last year I was having to go out and ask people to come in, this year I have artists contacting us saying, well, have you thought about 2015 and what artists do you have coming down? And really starting to develop great relationships with some of the agents. And that's how we have the talent that we have coming. Omar Sosa is one of the most sought after piano players in the world right now. And is, you know, to have him come in, he is starting his U.S. tour in Lake Wales, which, you know, is amazing. And to have also Larry Coryell, fantastic jazz guitarist who is based out of Orlando, coming in to play and to really, you know, lend his brilliance to us is fantastic. And so I believe that as we continue to move forward, we're going to grow, and, you know, it'll be us being able to select more as opposed to us reaching out. And we're really excited to build that legacy.
Well, and that's the great thing also, is that in a lot of ways you notice in communities like Lake Wales, they tend to grow because of the arts.
Exactly. And that's really the great thing about living in that community is the history of arts participation, the history of engagement, of people being excited about the things that we have going on, continues to build, and the momentum is there. And really the ability to have an idea, to have a conversation turn into the reality of now we have a festival just off of Charlie's idea is really a fantastic thing. And that's one of the great things about the partnership that the college has with the Lake Wales Arts Council.
Definitely, definitely. So tell me, Charlie, a little bit about your background and how you came into all of this.
Well, I started out, like I said, in jazz. I left high school and went right into the United States Air Force. And from there, I had no idea that I was going to get into jazz, but that's where I met a lot of jazz musicians. Came in a little too late after the Don Burries and the Wynton Kellys, all those guys had got out. So I went in the 60s, they was out around 56, 54 in that area. So I missed those guys, kind of like in between. But there's still some great musicians that most people probably don't know of that could really play. And so they would put me to the side and say, okay, we're gonna teach you how to play jazz. And back in those days, all of the great musicians and horn players, they wasn't coming out of the colleges. They were called territorial bands. This was back way back. But then, if you could play, say you was here in Lake Wales and somebody came to Orlando and said it's a bad trumpet player up there in Lake Wales. So somebody in Count Basie's band or somebody in some of the other bands needed a trumpet player, they would call you. You go up and you fit in, and how they do you just go right in and play. You didn't, right from the start. You didn't have a chance to sit back. Either you could or you couldn't. So that's how how I learned. The guy would take me downtown and say, come on, man, we having a jam session. Go downtown for the jam session. And they would play it, and it seemed like everybody played, it was so beautiful. And when I would pick up my horn and play, it seemed like everybody in the club would walk out. I didn't want to play. So I learned the hard way. So this is why it's so wonderful now that they have the colleges where you can at least get your foot on the ground before you step out. And that's where now most of the big bands, they get all their talent from the colleges. And they don't have, so that's good. And so from that, I came out of service and went with Stack Records, and then from that to Supersonic Attraction out of Atlanta, which was a subsidiary to Stack Records, and then went to California and Lake Tahoe with Jackie Wilson. And at one time in 1970, I said, I need to go to, everybody would say, you need to go to school, so I took off to go up to Berkeley. And I went up there, was there for 3.5 weeks. And the guy asked me, said, you want to go on the road with Jackie Wilson to Lake Tahoe? And he said, I said, yeah. And so the reason I did this, I know if you look back at it, you say that was kind of not the right thing to do. But Si Oliver did all the arrangements.
Wow. And
so that the older musicians said that would be a good thing for you to do, and you can go to school later. But hey, it didn't turn out that way.
Well, definitely it all turned out for you.
So here I am.
There you go. Well, I know that you were telling me earlier, what is the name of your horn there?
Well, I named this horn Madame Zaz. And this is Duke Ellington, he spelled it J-J-A-Z. And I want to take everything from Mr. Ellington, I respect him so much. So I changed mine and turn it jazz in reverse, Z-Z-A-J. So this is Madame Zaz, and this horn right here, when I wake up in the morning, it tells me what I can do and what I can't do. So we have to be.
Well, why don't you share her voice with us a little bit right now?
And so I would like to play this little tune in respect to a friend, my roommate, when I was with Alana Hamlin. It was a great jazz dancer by the name of Bunny Briggs. He died. He was 94 years old, so he just died in November the 15th. So I would like to end on also a Lon Hamilton tune, Memories of You.
Yes,
Yeah.
all right. Now, if you'd like to enjoy some of what you just heard right here, or something else that is really amazing as far as the second annual Jewel of the Ridge Jazz Festival, make sure that you get your tickets. It's going to be on April the 8th through the 11th, 2015. It's going to be at the Polk State Lake Wales Arts Center and J.D. Alexander Center and the Lake Wales Park. Cost for the event is free except for the April 9th Moonlight Concert with Omar Sosa's Quarteto Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz Band, which is going to be at 7 p.m. at the Bach Tower Gardens. And cost for that is $50. But if you'd like to find out more, go to their website at www.polk.edu/Arts Center, or you can call them at 863-298-6847.